Another sample Super Skirmish Gaming matchup. We have a pair of major villains, Blastar and MODOK, today. Over in the far corner there, you can see them. Against a cadre of Avengers, a quartet of Avengers. Captain America, Iron Man, Photon, and Scott Lang, Ant-Man. So I just wanted to do a few turns, just so folks can get an idea of how the game has matured since the last video demo that I did a few weeks ago, probably more than a month ago. So at this point, I've already determined the subplots and generated fate points. This is just going to be a straight up rooftop rumble / slugfest. MODOK was the subplot driving character for the villains, and he generated 4 extra fate points, phenomenal roll. And Ant-Man was for the Avengers, and he generated no extra fate points. So going into this, while the villains are outnumbered, these 2 major villains versus 4 standard heroes, they have a fate point edge in terms of bonus fate points. So we'll see how that actually plays out, given the dynamics of the game. So I have 4 chits in my bag, 4 initiative chits as per the system. Every character gets 1 during initiative. Chits are numbered 1 to 6, 1 for each character. So first I'll draw for the heroes. I'll draw for a hero character. I'll give Captain America the first draw. And Cap gets a 4. I'm going to walk over here and give Blastar the next draw. He gets a 2. So that's good for him. Coming back over. Iron Man gets a 1. MODOK. He gets a 6. He'll be going last this round. Okay. Photon, or Captain Marvel, or Monica Rambeau. She gets a 3. And then no more villains, so back to Ant-Man, he gets a 5. Alright, so number 1 is Iron Man. And the way I've built Iron Man in the game this time around is I have given him a power pool. So he has, as a standard character, he's got 4 power sets. You can kind of see here a show off Iron Man sheet here. There he is there. And yeah, so he will start the game with flight and he'll start the game with power set 1, which includes super move, flight of 18 inches, and a range attack of 18 inches. So we'll take his initiative chit away because he's going now. He's got a 18-inch move. And again, this battle is taking place on a massive rooftop somewhere in we'll say it's in Manhattan somewhere. All right, so he can get to there. And I think I'm gonna have him do that. He's gonna fly and land. And can he see anyone from there? I'm gonna say you can see Blastar through the cover that is provided by that water tower, the large water tower. I've got 2 on this board, a small and a large. Let's see if he has range, though. Don't know if he does. 18 inches. No, he's short, and he'll be short of MODOK as well. You can pre-measure all ranges in the game. So, yeah, so Iron Man has moved forward, but he can't really do anything at this point. So that shifts us back to the villains, and Blastar is particularly deadly. He goes on 2 this turn. He's a major character, So he has a bevy of powers, including blast, but he can also use his blast to fly. But since he's blasting with his hands and projecting himself, careening through the air, I gave him the unstable fault on his super move flight. So he's got to make a target number 11 body check each round he wants to use it. So I rolled well enough, 9, that's 11, without even adding his considerable body in. So he has a 24-inch flying move. Let's see where that puts him. Oh yeah, he's gonna perch. He's gonna land right over here atop this rooftop shelter, and he's gonna blast Iron Man. It's a particularly deadly blast. So Blastar has a blast of +5. Iron Man has a dodge of +2. So this one could go badly quickly. Let's see what happens. I should say the Avengers are orange and the villains are yellow. So, okay, so in this case they got absolutely identical rolls, so we can just ignore those, look at the two stats. I'll do the math anyway. Blastar got a 9, 10, 15 with his shooting stat added in. And Iron Man got a 9, 10, 12 with his dodge stat added in. Blastar beats him by 3. His power has a base damage of +4, so that's 7 damage to Iron Man, who starts the game with 20 health. But Iron Man does have his armor, which reduces incoming attack damage by -2. So he takes 5 instead of 7. So he goes from 20 to 15. So Blastar, the living bomber, strikes the first blow for the heroes. Or the villains, I should say. Next up is Photon. Photon has some very interesting powers, including Body of Energy, which she is about to activate here. Body of Energy is a great way to do characters like her in Living Lightning, in Living Laser, and any other character that can sort of transmute themselves into different forms of energy. So, just quickly looking up Body of Energy here. Make sure I don't miss any of the key points. She is going to have to spend a fate point to activate it. And when she does, she basically gets the super move power with the instantaneous extra. So basically instantaneous allows you to be anywhere on the board you want. So she's going to go right here. And why is she going to do that? Because right now, as a being of pure energy, she's intangible. She can't be touched by physical attacks. But what she does have is she has the extra for Body of Energy that's called Energy Attack. And if she rolls and hits the double bonus, she's going to do 2 unsavable damage to Blastar. I'll read it to you. While this power is active and you're in melee contact with a foe, spend your combat action and make a chance roll. On a success, your foe takes unsavable damage based on your type. So since she's a standard character, it's 2. So it's not a roll with a double bonus. She actually needs to make a chance roll. And in the game, a chance roll is simply a 3d6 roll where you hit 11 plus. So, and she fails. She does not damage Blastar. She also has the fortune ability. So she had to spend a fortune fate point to activate Body of Energy. But with her fortune ability, if she makes a successful 11 plus chance roll, she'll get that fate point back. It's a good power to take in tandem with Body of Energy fortune. So in that case, I got a 7, 10, no dice. So she may only be doing body of energy a couple of times this game. Of course, she could generate fate in other ways, which is good. We'll talk about that as we go along. All right, so next up at number 4 is Cap. Cap is going to, he's going to try to engage the ever deadly Blastar in melee, because having him roaming free blasting people is really untenable. So Cap can move 6, and then he's going to do a charge maneuver, which gives him 3 more inches of move. So he's going to get there. Now he could spend a fate point and get extra movement. That's not going to get him there. So I'm going to wait till next round and see how the initiative plays out, see what happens. On 5 is Ant-Man. Ant-Man is going to do the same thing. He's going to rush forward here and charge as well. He has, normally when you're shrunken, your movement is halved, but he has the bug allies extra, so that makes his movement normal. So he moves 6 and then 3 more on the charge, gets him to advance that far. Now it's MODOK, ever deadly. He is going to move forward. He could move up to 18 inches since he has flight, but we are just going to put him by these crates here. And he is going to use his vaunted Mental Blast to blast Iron Man, the weakened Iron Man, trying to take him out. So let's see what happens there. Iron Man's going to resist with his mind. Well, let me see here. Mentalism. Just want to make sure that is an option for Iron Man. Mental Blast. Yeah, Mental Blast. Yeah, he can resist with his mind or will. So he's going to use his mind at +3. MODOK's mind is +5. Again, good guys' dice are orange, and the bad guys are yellow. All right, so what we have here is a poor roll for MODOK and a good roll for Iron Man, which is good for our heroes. Let's see what we got here. Excellent. Okay, so Iron Man is going to evade that Mental Blast he's going to resist it. He gets an 11, 16, 19 on MODOK's attack. MODOK got a 7, 9, 14. So yeah, he manages to weather the mental storm. All right, so this is turn 2, I believe. We picked first for the heroes last time, so we'll pick first for the villains this time. And we'll start with MODOK. A mental organism designed only for killing. He is number 1. I'm sure he is in his own mind too. Iron Man next. How about that? He is 4. Critically important here for Blastar. Ooh, he's 6. Interesting. Photon. She's a 3. And then Cap and Ant-Man, respectively. Let's go for Cap. Cap's a 2. Solid 2 for Cap. And Ant-Man's a 5. Okay. So, MODOK is number 1. He is again going to try and press his attack against Iron Man. He has a 24-inch range. He's going to get cagey here and try to move back out of Iron Man's charge range. So he's going to go to here. See, you can pre-measure all ranges and movements in the game, so we can do this. When you play solo, I should add incidentally, your characters are built on archetypes in the game. So the rules have guidelines and advice on how to run solo characters, solo opponents, using archetypes to sort of govern their behavior. As a controller, MODOK eschews melee combat. He wants to not be in melee as much as possible to avoid melee. So he's going to move back to try to be clear of it, as well as be clear of Iron Man's blasts. And I'm going to use one of those 4 fate that I generated prior to the battle in the subplot phase to add to MODOK's attack this time around. It's going to be the same thing. His mind is a +5. +2 for the use of the fate point makes it a +7. Iron Man is resisting with his mind of +3. And I'm debating putting, Iron Man will spend a fate as well, so we're back down to +5 versus +3. I'll have to remember to mark Iron Man's fate off. Remember, I didn't roll any bonus fate for the heroes. This did not go as well for Iron Man. Luckily, he did spend that fate point to cancel MODOK's, essentially. Iron Man gets an 8, 9, +3 is 12. MODOK, on the other hand, gets a 9, 12 +5 is 17. So 17 to 12 beats Iron Man by 5. His melee attack does +4 damage. That's 9. Iron Man does not have any mental armor, so to speak. So he's going to take that full 9 points of damage. And I'm marking his fate off as well. So he is rocked. He has gone from, in 2 rounds, gone from a full 20 health down to 6. He's going to have to do something extreme here to strike back at MODOK. But first, we're going to do Cap. MODOK went first. Cap now goes second in the round. And he can't do anything against MODOK, but Cap can, if he charges, get close to making it into range here. As long as he gets within an inch, and he will, he should be able to get up there and get involved in this melee. I'm going to say that he has to make a target number 13 body check to leap up onto that housing without costing him any movement. Cap's body is a +3. Otherwise, he's going to stop short. Yeah, I failed. Okay. Well, what I could do, though, is I could spend a fate point to give him extra movement that would allow him to get there. And I think it's important to lock down Blastar at this time, so I am going to do that. The heroes are spending their fate freely here, but these are important times to try and lock these deadly ranged attackers up. Blastar can't effectively do his ranged attack in melee, so Cap is now up there, and he's in the fight. So Cap charges. That's +1. Cap's fighting is a +4, maxed out for a standard character, as you would expect. Probably easily build a major character version of Captain America. I did him as a standard this time to fit this 4-character build that I had in mind. But he has a fighting of +4. The charge gives him +1, so that's +5. The friend in melee gives him another +1, that's +6. Now, Blastar has a dodge of +2, so it's 6 to 2. But I will use another one of the villain's fate that I generated. So it'll be 6 to 4. hoping for a good roll for Cap, and I did not get one. Blastar didn't roll that well either, so this will be close. That's 6, 8, 14 for Cap. 7, 8, 12 for Blastar. So Cap beats him by 2 and does plus 3 damage. And doesn't hit any double bonus or anything like that, which would have helped him on damage with his shield. So he does 5 damage to Blastar. Blastar does have a thick hide. It gives him damage resistance of -3. So Blastar ends up taking only 2 damage. But you got to start somewhere, right? He goes from 25 to 23. And he's locked down in combat. We'll see how that goes. Captain Marvel's up next. She's going to try one more time. She's going to spend her fate, stay in her energy form, and see if she can again use the energy attack ability to do 2 unsavable damage to Blastar. No, she fails. And she's going to use her fortune to try and retain the fate point that she spent to get it back, essentially. Remember, she needs an 11 plus, and she fails at that too. So that is some bad luck. She will not be able to be in body of energy for the rest of the game unless she generates some extra fate through rolling double bonuses on other checks. So she's going to have to back out of this melee and start blasting with her regular blast powers. Okay. 4 is Iron Man, who needs to make his presence known before he is completely knocked out of the game. So let's go. Iron Man's trying to do something here. Focus on MODOK. He is going to... If he charges, he could go 21 inches and lock MODOK up in melee. MODOK's a tough customer, though. He's got 30 health because of his armor and his chair. 21-inch charge. That would get me there. That is what needs to happen. So he is... Iron Man has to keep his super move power set right now. If he can keep MODOK locked in combat, he can switch to another power set next round. So he's going to charge. Try to lock him up. He's just going to see if he can get a lucky shot on him. MODOK, not much of a close combatant. He does have a dodge of +2. On the charge, Iron Man has a fight of +3. Hoping for a good roll here. And getting it. Double bonus. Anytime you roll double 6s, that's a double bonus. That's good. So that's, but I did roll 1, which is kind of a mitigating. So 12, 13, +3 is 16. On defense, MODOK got a 4, 8, 10. MODOK got a 12, so he beats him by 4. I'm gonna, instead of using that fate point to add extra damage, I'm instead gonna pocket it for later because I feel like I'm gonna need it. No, we're gonna throw it into damage. We're gonna do as much damage to MODOK as we can. So I beat him 16 to 12. That's 4. And that is all because Iron Man does not have any of his melee combat stuff set up. So I beat him by 4, +2 for the fate point is 6. I should say +2 for the double bonus is 6. And MODOK has damage reduction -3, so he takes 3, so he goes from 30 to 27. All right, it's looking grim for our heroes. Meanwhile, Ant-Man, he's going to continue to motor along here. I didn't set up an objective in this game, and this actually would have been perfect for the heroes to have an objective. Because this is that's something Ant-Man could do, since he's having a hard time getting into these fights right now in the first 2 rounds. But his time will come. We'll see what happens. But he is a kind of character who's not super effective in combat. He's more of an objective grabber, or a character who can, get places, and his shrinking makes it harder for characters to attack him. We'll see how that progresses in the game. Blastar goes last. He has 2 foes in melee. One he can't really affect. He can't use his ranged attack in melee. He is super strong, and that's something that's very deadly in the game if he connects. He has a fighting stat of +2, because while he will brawl, he is not a super skilled brawler. So if he chose to leave combat, he would suffer free attacks from both characters. So, but then that would allow him to use his most devastating attack on Captain America. So I think he's powerful enough. He's gonna risk it. All right, so number 1, his unstable move. Let's see if he can activate his flight properly. 9, 10, yeah. Plus his body, he does it. So he is going to fly back over here. And as he leaves, Captain Marvel is going to use her body of energy one last time, because her power is going to be gone at the beginning of her next turn. Chance roll, 11 plus. Finally, so she does 2 damage to Blastar as he leaves. That takes him down to 21. Marking that. And the big one here is Cap. And Blastar gets to defend against this one. There was no defense against the energy attack. The Blastar can even fend this off and really come out on top. Cap may get a good shot on him as he leaves, though, because Cap's a good fighter, +4. That's 11, 13, 17. Blastar got an 8, 10, +2 for his dodge. 12, so Cap beats him by 5, +3 is 8. And then -3 for Blastar's damage resistance. He takes 5, so he's down to 16. But the real kicker here is he is now going to blast away at Cap. Since, again, he can't hurt Captain Marvel quite yet. She's going to revert back to normal at the beginning of her next turn. So here we go. Blastar is targeting Cap. Well, technically, by rule in a solo game, he would target the nearest character he can see. So that would actually be Ant-Man. So Ant-Man is shrinking right now. He's actively shrinking. So Blastar needs to make a perception check to target him. This could work out for the heroes. He needs a 13. That's the shrinking target number for a standard shrinker. Blastar's perception, while he is a powerful negative zone potentate, he is not the most observant fellow. He's a +1 perception. And he fails. So he can't see Ant-Man to target him. So now he will end up targeting Cap, because he can clearly see Cap. Cap is not shrinking or hiding. So here we go. Cap dodge is +4 versus +5 of the shooting stat. Oh boy, not good for Cap. He got a 7, 8, 12, and he got a 12 total with his dodge, and Blastar got an 11, 12, 17. So he beats him by 5. and then adds 4 for the damage is 9. So Cap takes 9 damage. Cap's shield grants him additional benefits on the double bonus, which he didn't hit. So Cap's just going to take 9 damage here. So he goes from 20 to 11. All right. And as we go to round 3, we would draw initiative chits and continue the battle. So that is another illustration of how Super Skirmish Gaming works. At this point, it's looking grim for our heroes, but things could turn around. We'll perhaps continue the game later off camera, but this is Scott Pyle from Four Color Studios signing off and wishing you all the best. Take care.